Hey! Welcome back to a very anxious gamer, aka me, tries to beat honor mode. Last time we left off, our protagonist, Madara, was entering the Shadow Curse lands and starting Act 2. I did so many things wrong here. So many things wrong. Oh shoot. We stick together. So the whole party just stood in a circle near Lae'zel, their beacon of hope and survival, until the fight was over. We survived. The Harpers told us about a safe place from the darkness, and we hightailed it to Last Light Inn, where Jaheira hassled us. Will got respect so that he, like Madara and Karlach, is very dumb, but hey, at least he's kinda strong and his Riz is off the charts. We tried to buy some stuff from Tally, and after I complained for a bit about how expensive everything was, we went to fix Karlach's heart. Unless your other option is to kiss her, you hug her. Obviously, Madara gave her a hug. Madara and Karlach are basically besties. Like, their energy is the kind of polar opposites duo of a black cat and a golden retriever. Grumpy versus Sunshine, you know? And, I predict that there are several fights in Act 3 that I will be skipping, so the ending of their friendship could be very tragic. But that's a concern for future kin, not present-day kin. Elminster showed up at camp to tell Gale that his ex, the goddess of magic, wanted him to blow himself up. Gale looks so fine right now. That's probably TMI. But it's the truth. Like, I'm sorry, but he does. He does. I drooled over Gale. I don't have any shame about it. Now, Madara is feeling Gale, but she's a drow. She's not trying to get too attached to a human, so her responses to this entire situation were pretty wishy-washy. AKA, I intend to use Gale to get the golden dice, and my heart is gonna break over that, especially if Madara is dating him. But at the time, I was also leaving Madara's in-game lover up to chance between Gale and Astarion. It was gonna be whoever triggered their Act 2 romance scene first. Mizora showed up and we bargained with her. Madara spent the rest of the night chatting with all her campmates.
You should come over more often.
Okay, say less. Because there's a ton of dialogue I hadn't clicked through yet. Before she went to bed, Madara shoved another tadpole in her eye and took charm. The Dream Visitor, aka the Targaryen Bastard, showed up with his thighs and a nip out in an attempt to seduce Madara. Like, why does the Dream Visitor choose to wear this outfit? This one time, too.
You did a brave thing, saving those people in the grove.
Girl, Madara did not care about them. Next, I wanted to get a moon lantern, but I absolutely not was going to risk talking to Isabelle at Last Light, because Dammon and Tally's lives are incredibly important to me. Instead, we went back through the mountain pass past these undead while invisible so that we could encounter the cultist convoy. Madara commanded a goblin to go to his death because she has a soft spot for animals. And then, Madara chose violence, and we fought these cultists. Shadowheart almost died. Please don't ask how. I'm not proud of it. Madara played a little tune on the lute, summoned the Drider Carnus, and Shadowheart hit a drop command, starting combat. We basically just bullied this guy.
Once I'm freed, I'll help you truly.
Dolly's got bars. Look how cute she looks here while she's covered in the blood of her enemies. We beelined for Moonrise Towers to the heart of the Absolute, and Madara tried to save Minthara and failed. Madara obviously told the goblins KYS, and she enjoyed it far too much. Well, as much as I would have expected her to. Madara talked to Zarel, and when she entered Madara's head, our drow princess distracted her with thoughts of how much she wants to bang Astarion. Gale got a new hat to continue his drip upgrades, and we traded a bunch with this fellow drow that Madara took time to dunk on.
I wasn't in it at the time.
helped a tiefling child beat Raphael at lance board.
You're rolling too well, Madara. Don't make me scared for later, please.
Gale got another upgrade. It's honestly kind of fucked up that there's so much Ice Mage equipment in this act, and then the final boss is resistant to cold damage. Like, Larian, be serious.
How was your night with Gale? Did you have a long, hard debate?
Oh, ignore him. Astarion envies the depth of our bond because he's of a shallower inclination.
So stupid.
By this time, patch 7 was now out on console, so I kept getting distracted listening to all the romance-specific banter from the companions.
Madara looks so pretty in the Shadow Curse lands. Alright. Let's make our way over through the House of Healing graveyard. And...
Sorry if this is rude, but can vampires fall in love?
What a preposterous question. Vampires can do anything you can do, and a damn sight better.
Sunbathe? Swim?
Alright. There are a few limited exceptions.
They just can't stop yapping now they've got their dialogue.
Gale got new robes because he's the favorite child, and I decided it was time to double back and kill the Spider Queen. The first room was easy, and then we tried to take out all the spider eggs, but at some point I screwed up and got spotted, but at least there was only one set of eggs left.
Ooh. Oh shit. Hold up. Let's just very quickly... What exactly is this? Now, what counts as an offspring? Does that also include these? I guess we'll find out.
In my head, for some reason, I thought that the smaller spiders, but not the babies, weren't considered as being the Spider Queen's offspring, but that was stupid. So Madara got entombed in web at one point.
Yikes. Okay. That is what that does. That is what it does. Alright.
Gale wasn't in combat though, so he immediately freed her with a firebolt.
He didn't even enter combat. Okay. We take those little wins.
Except for a bit of bruising, this fight was fine.
You know what? Throw this one at the other one. Yeah, that's fine. Throw it into the abyss. Oh. Hey girl. You good? Oh my god, she's watering her plant? Shut up, dude. That's so cute.
Going to bed that night, Astarion wanted to talk, and it was because he wanted to smash.
Hello.
You will come to my bed tonight, won't you? You need a bit of enticing. Let me see.
Your Honor, Madara and Astarion are looking kinda cute to me.
Let's see where the night takes us.
What is that animation? Larian? What is that fade to black? What is the rest of that animation, Larian? Show me the receipts. What the heck?
We return to the Shadow Curse lands with Will acting as the face of the party to take out the Thorns. Will made Garangoth blow herself up by short-circuiting her reasoning and logic.
Yeah. Let's go. Go team.
And then he told Malice that his students need to practice their shoddy surgery skills on a master.
Will, what are we doing here, man? Oh my god. Okay.
We took out some shadows and Gale used his nerd riz on Madara.
What's up, Gale?
It's quite thrilling.
Oh my god.
Fight off such grim creatures as this region throws at us. Especially being at your side. I once read a book that explained in some detail the effect a brush with danger has on one's desire for other forms of stimulation. Have you ever read anything on that subject?
Madara does not read.
You have? Oh. Then I might suggest we pool our knowledge. There's no sense in letting valuable first-hand experience go to waste. After all.
Madara has a soft spot for kids, so we sent Arabella to our camp when we found her. Will, the charisma-focused character,
Will.
failed to impress this bugbear, but Madara didn't have a problem.
God, Will, come on. Madara was able to do this? I guess she had guidance, but come on.
The party headed to the Thorn Mausoleum, and Madara was a smartass to Raphael. I chose different dialogue than I usually do, so I didn't get to hear him get fussy and call Madara a pipsqueak. Low-key disappointing. We also got a mission from Raphael to take out some dude he didn't like, and he agreed to read Astarion scars in exchange.
A fairer deal than I expected.
We made our way into the Gauntlet of Shar, bullied a cloaker, Madara got sassy with some bones, and we took out some other bones. I got too scared to talk to Yrgir here, so instead we went for the other Thorm, and Will told him stories that were so awesome that the Zabal just exploded.
Right.
Madara, once again, was smarter than I expected.
Page obscuring the vessel's destination.
Or maybe I think Madara is more dumb than she is.
Your mind separates the black from the
We fought some measles, and this one really had it out for Will specifically.
Astarion, Will, are y'all good? Oh my god. Will! I've never seen him take someone this far. What the heck? Oh my god, please don't pull Will into another combat.
The party took out more Shadows and Shadow Curse Harpers, and Madara hit level 7, but the rest of the boys were lagging behind, so Madara gave in to her intrusive thoughts and touched a dead thing that she definitely wasn't supposed to touch, but all the dead ravens meant everyone else could hit level 7. I doubled back, again, and got the Titan String Bow. We went back to the Underdark and killed some fish people and their false god. One of our hirelings was dead, so we talked to Withers and he put his non-existent nose in Madara's business.
Thou art not distracted on thy quest, seeking the comforts of the flesh.
I felt brave, and it was time to go for Auntie Ethel. Now, in terms of RP, Madara does not care about Mayrina, so she didn't even try to question Ethel about this crying woman in her house. Instead, we just went poking around her house, saw that the fireplace was weird, and wandered in. Now, because I was afraid of Ethel, I sent Gale to hide. This fight was pretty easy, but I had a brief panic about the cutscene not triggering, but I forgot that Madara's sword is silencing on a hit. Madara, like I said, does not care about Mayrina, so she just took the power and she got +1 to her strength. Back at Moonrise, we got some gnolls to kill their master.
Barnabas? Darling? No!
There's a parasite in that core.
Madara violated her philosophy on kids and animals and killed a dog. Madara took Psionic Overload, an ability I never use, but it was because I wanted to build towards ability drain. We fought more bones. Will went to talk to Yrgir, and I was shook by how damn easy this conversation was for him as a fiend warlock. Like, are you kidding me?
it wants to help.
Why does Mizora care about this? Wait. What? You can do this right from the start? Let's see. Oh my god, I did not know that you could do this.
Shadowheart completed her trials in the gauntlet. Raphael came to translate Astarion's infernal scars. Now, I know that I kept saying I wasn't gonna go to the Githyanki Creche, but I wanted to try and get the ability from the Zathis that lets you use illithid powers as a bonus action. So off to the Creche we went. Except for using 2 inspiration points, Madara did great and rolled 2 nat 20s, so there's a new ability for her.
What?
Since I'm running with a full party, I'm not too concerned about inspiration because someone is going to get inspired by some obscure thing that we do. We killed some Gith, I swore I wouldn't come back to the Creche, and we headed back to Moonrise where Madara found out that Karlach had another bestie before they met, and we got some free soul coins off of Lantarv. I decided that it was time to start clearing out a few of the folks around Moonrise, so Madara convinced one guy to go swimming, and the rest of the zealots on the dock needed a little more encouragement to go check out the water. We killed some more fish people and then headed into the morgue at the House of Healing. Madara got yanked off a ledge and I panicked.
Oh. I was not prepared for that. Oof.
With Shadowheart out of combat casting Calm Emotions, we killed these meanlocks under Last Light. She broke concentration at one point, which had me holding my controller a little harder, but all was well. When I opened up stream again, I was pretty set on grinding for XP, so you'll never guess where we went. We went to the Creche. Madara and the squad just went around the Creche killing everything in sight. Kobolds, dead. Grimishkas, dead. Giant eagles, dead. We went back to the Shadow Curse lands, talked to this dude with a bird, and he, for some reason, trusted Madara to punish the spirit possessing his body. Madara fully intended for the spirit to stab this guy to death, but she wasn't persuasive enough, so he survived and gave us some pretty useless gloves that we're just gonna sell because we're broke. The party killed some needle blights, some shadows, and we finally hit level 8. And then, that night, a choice was presented to Madara.
Do you have a moment? I think we need to talk.
Part of me was kinda hoping that Gale's cutscene would trigger first, but Astarion beat him to the whole let's confess our feelings conversation.
Not fool for you.
Honestly, this relationship for Madara makes sense. I feel like she's a type of emotionally damaged and distant that she also needs to ease her way into having a romantic partner. She's not ready for any L-bombs yet. And also, they're so cute! Madara was desperate to get her boyfriend some new armor, so I finally started bartering with magical items. It was time for us to start clearing out some of the cultists around Moonrise, so we started with Zarel, and with a whole person, she was decimated. Astarion gobbled up Zarel's tadpole and took concentrated blast so that we could get him to Call the Weak. Following that, we cleared out the Silent Library, and then it was time to do some pest extermination. Ratman, aka Lithendor, showed up. I realized that Madara was the only one in dialogue with him, and my fingers slipped a few times.
Just bullying this guy. Oh my god, these rats do want to cause beef. Alright. Oh, they don't want the smoke. Anyway.
The party headed back to Last Light, and Madara was a little dismissive of Alfear's concerns that the murderous cult that slaughters everyone is possibly doing horrible things to the innocent refugees that it captured. That night, Gale wanted to talk, and I love love this cutscene with Gale. Even in a platonic context, it is so meaningful. The circumstances are obviously way different, but as a suicide survivor, so much of Gale's journey hits so hard for me. This scene in particular is so incredibly heavy, yet beautiful, and I also think that Madara is starting to have more appreciation for the people she's traveling with. Anyway, the summary of all my yapping is that Gale is great. The crew headed to the prison of Moonrise and just kept throwing and pushing their enemies into a chasm. The warden made things a little difficult, but she was cut down, and then this scrying eye somehow managed to still snitch on us, so we did the thing we're best at, pushing our enemies off of ledges. We killed some hook horrors, and Astarion got another tadpole for Cole the Weak. Finally, we helped the prisoners escape to Last Light. We came back to the prison to try and save Minthara, and, well...
Everyone get inside. Is she dead already?
You were adorable.
She just wasn't there. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't think she would land that. Okay, can we not get her now? Attack. I don't understand where Minthara actually is.
Being arrested for assault.
I'm kind of just choosing violence and bitterness. Yeah, I'm just bitter at this point. It's so stupid. Like, I wonder if, like, the quest's completed, because it's not timed, as far as I know.
Minthara didn't want anything to fucking do with us. Kinda disappointed I didn't even get to have, like, a cutscene to talk with her, because I feel there should have been another role to persuade her to join us, but whatever. Now that we're level 8, it's time to take out a particular necromancer. No one even took any damage in this fight because Balthazar is kinda pathetic and Ice is OP. Desperate to hit level 9, we doubled back to Act 1 because I thought that the Goblin camp still might have some walking XP around, but turns out it was completely abandoned, so that sucked. But now that we're in an Act 1 area, I talked to Volo to start the process of him attempting to extract the tadpole. Now, we must ponder the age-old philosophical question. WWMD. What would Madara do? She absolutely wouldn't trust this dude to extract her tadpole, but Volo's eye is going to be too important by the time we get to Act 3. Like, 10 minutes ago, I said that we wouldn't come back to the creche, but listen, the XP is calling my name, so guess where we are? After killing the general and getting her 6th sword, I chickened out of killing the Inquisitor. Yes, I know now that he's like only level 6, but I was scared of his legendary action at the time, okay? This is called An Anxious Gamer Tries to Beat Honor Mode, so of course I'm getting anxious over fighting this kind of huge boss. We took a long rest, and then Volo damn near took out a chunk of Madara's brain, but she can now see invisibility.
Goodbye, Volo.
until we, hopefully, save him in Act 3. Shout out to our man Volothamp. If it wasn't for his overflowing and generous pockets, we wouldn't be here, pushing our way towards the climax of Act 2 on this honor mode run. After one of my friends showed up in chat and bullied me and then continued bullying me over text, I decided to go fight the Inquisitor. Enjoy me panicking for the next few minutes.
Nice, because it felt a little easy. But this does not feel easy. It doesn't feel good. My stomach is doing flips right now. From anxiety. So there's that. I don't want to do this fight because I feel like this could be a run ender. But I'm hoping that it's enough XP for us to be able to fight Ketheric. So we just gotta make decisions, gotta make tough calls. God. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I really just don't want to do this. My hands are sweaty. I'm hating it.
And all my anxiety was for nothing because the Inquisitor got bodied by Madara. So proud of her. Look at my baby go. Then we went around and cleared out every Githyanki left alive in the creche. Ajak Najira thankfully dropped the two main items I wanted to buy from her, the Knife of the Undermountain King and the Gloves of Dexterity. We took the Githyanki egg and continued our slaughtering by eliminating all the ghouls and death shepherds in the mountain pass. Still wasn't enough to hit level 9 though. Voss showed up, and I briefly considered killing him because I thought it'd be nice for Madara to get a new sword, but I'ma be real, I kept the Susser Greatsword on her. It's just too useful to silence enemies. The next day, we went to solve the puzzle at the creche, and we got the Morning Lord's Radiance buff, and then it was time to get the Blood of Lathander. However, this is when the game decided that it hated me. When we tried to fast travel back to the Shadow Curse lands, the game, and therefore my stream, crashed. Because there wasn't an autosave, I had to go back and solve the puzzle and get the Blood of Lathander again. This time, I forgot to get the Morning Lord's Crest, so I sent Astarion to go get it, and guess what? The game and my stream crashed again! I took a few minutes off stream to troubleshoot, and I still don't know what was causing all of the crashes, but I think the game just couldn't compute us fast traveling to the Shadow Curse lands for some reason, so the party walked into the Act 2 area instead of using a waypoint. It was time for us to head towards the final fight of Act 2, so Shadowheart gave everyone Fox's Cunning, and they all prayed at this altar of Shar to get necrotic resistance. The party went into the Shadowfell, and once again, we pondered the big question: what would Madara do? This is once again an area where I didn't exactly RP the way I wanted to because I didn't want to risk fighting Shadowheart, but it's alright. We freed Dame Aylin and headed towards Moonrise. This first fight was a piece of cake since we took out so many cultists earlier, and Jaheira survived. I see that she dies pretty often in a lot of other runs, but she's never died for me, so I'm glad that stayed true for this run. I like having my wise elder around. The party took out another necromancer and some necromites, and then it was finally time for us to face J.K. Simmons, a god amongst men. The only person who was really able to hit Ketheric was Karlach, which was a tad scary, but all was fine.
I just wanted to say, by the way, I've noticed that we haven't leveled up which I'm not a fan of.
Madara picked up Force Tunnel, and with Gale, Astarion, and Karlach, she jumped into the tower after Ketheric. Madara freed us.
Your tadpole forms a telepathic connection with the device, and a chorus of static energy fills your mind. Every mind flayer in the room calls out hungrily from its pod, seeking release and sustenance. But there are others in the pods, those not yet infected, not yet elithid, terrified, desperate to escape. The device is open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
Now, we must ask the question, WWMD, what would Madara do? The answer is simple.
Screams, psychic agony, terror, then nothing.
And we leveled up. I don't feel good about that decision. It's done now. Let's level up.
Astarion found a tadpole and
Thank
picked up
you,
Transfuse
Zach.
Health, an illithid ability that I've never used, but hey, we'll see if it's useful and hopefully it doesn't get us killed. We freed Mizora, and I'm disappointed there was no animation of Madara just shrugging her shoulders at the fact that Will has 6 more months of being trapped in his pact. I find the fights here in the colony to be a bit boring, and the necrotic laboratory felt like too big of a risk to take at this point, so we just started getting our party ready for Ketheric. I don't think I have ever walked around with this many summons, but I wasn't going to take any risks for this fight. I spent way too long trying to get the main party invisible and in position, and with the Mind Flayer taking an arrow to the face, the fight began. This turn order was an absolute nightmare to handle, by the way, but with the summons focusing on taking out the Necromites and their little death incubators, we took out Ketheric. When Merkel appeared, the summons, for the most part, focused on destroying all the Necromite incubators, and the party just kept hitting Merkel with everything they had. Madara even managed to disarm him.
Wait, did we disarm him? Hey, yo! Madara, you're crazy! You're wildin'! Where did it even go?
And, with just 5 rounds of combat,
You got this. Let's go! Oh my god!
path takes you to Baldur's Gate. But I cannot join you. Out there, the curse still thrives. I failed this place.
Yeah.
Now I must remain behind.
You did.
And stand watch over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you must remain. I wish you success on your path.
Oh, that's so funny. That's messed up. But it's what Madara would do.
After defeating the Apostle of Merkel, we left Tali with 4 gold to her name, and we walked away with some nice loot, including a scroll of Globe of Invulnerability.
Look at this turn order. This turn order is ridiculous, man. What the hell?
We snuck over to the Githyanki ambush, and they got absolutely destroyed. And that's it. Act 2 is completed. It's time for us to head to the city and into Act 3. There are several fights in Act 3 that I think I won't do, but judging how Act 2 went, I may end up caving and taking on some of those encounters that I'm afraid of, because if there's one person that I know is unpredictable, it's myself. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment to let me know if there are any fights you would like to see me try to do in Act 3. See y'all next time for the end of Madara's journey, whatever that may be.